Hello everybody, this is Merlini from Merlini Dota, and I'm here to review the SteelSeries Sensei Laser Mouse. Inside this box contains the mouse with its glossy, shiny finish, as well as the braided 2-meter long cord, and the gold-plated USB connector. Also included is the quick start guide, as well as a SteelSeries sticker. So now let's talk about the Sensei mouse itself. It boasts a DCPI double counts per inch of 11,400, which is very, very high sensitivity. I myself only use a DPI of around 1,800, which is sufficient for the RTS games that I play. Therefore, this DCPI feature was not very useful for me. This mouse is actually ambidextrous, not a feature that I've encountered in many mice, but this means that it has a forward and back button on the left side for right-handed people, and a forward and back button on the right side for left-handed people, and it should fit both left-handed and right-handed people. This also means that it actually has 7 buttons that you can customize: the left click, the right click, the forward and back buttons on both sides, so that's 6, and then the scroll wheel for the 7th one. Although I'm pretty sure you're only going to use 5. Again, these left 2 if you're right-handed, and these right 2 if you're left-handed. It is 0.22 pounds, it's very light and easy to move around, and I doubt your hand will get tired unless you're just a complete weakling. And it actually seems like this mouse is more suited for soft surfaces and hard surfaces, because I was moving this mouse around my hard surface and it makes a small scratching noise, which isn't that big of a deal, but this actually didn't occur on any of the other mice that I've had. It's medium size. I have a rather largest hand, so I have a palm grip when I use it. Some people have like a claw grip, but it fits. It should fit most hand sizes. The finish is actually slightly too sleek for my liking as a personal preference, but I found it like relatively hard to get like a good grip on the mice. My fingers kept sliding, and I actually like an opaque finish. That, again, that's personal preference rather than this like reflective finish on the mouse. In terms of installing the mouse and using it, the drivers plug and play, very easy on my Windows 7 operating system. You can download additional software through SteelSeries support and download site. It was very easy to find, install, and set up. But there's tons of additional customization that you can get through this software. So there's 3 LED lights. One on the scroll wheel, one on this CPI indicator, and one on the bottom for the SteelSeries logo. And you can actually customize these LEDs to whatever color you like, not just this orange one that is default. And then this button in the middle has 2 functions. Firstly, if you just press it once, you will see that light go on and off, and you can switch in between a low CPI and a high CPI very, very quickly. Some people like to have both, but I only use one CPI for everything, and it suits me pretty well. And also, you can actually have 5 profiles, up to 5 profiles, saved on this mouse, which means that if you go to a LAN center or your friend's house just to play games or whatever, you don't actually need to install additional software, which is always a huge plus. You can just save your profile on your mouse and then plug it in, and it should work right there with the same DPI that you've used before. However, again, you can have up to 5 profiles on it, and you can change it by holding this button down for 5 seconds and then scrolling down and choosing it down here. And it'll say it here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but down here is a small LED, and actually says the SteelSeries logo right now. But you can actually change that to whatever bitmap file that you choose. But again, this is like on the bottom of the mouse, so when you have your mouse face down, you won't actually see it. So I don't actually think that feature is very useful. So this braided cord is pretty durable, and it should withstand a lot of stress. I actually haven't had any of these braided cords break on me, and I abuse my mice a lot. So there's a lot of nice features included in the software. 4 of note are the exact accel, which increases acceleration. I don't use any acceleration, so this feature was not useful to me either. Exact aim is kind of the opposite of exact accel, and it is useful for FPSs, but again, I play RTSs, so this feature was also not useful. Exact lift, which sets the lift distance. If you pick up your mouse and set it back down a lot, this should be useful for you. And the last one is something called free move, which has path correction. If you move your mouse in a straight line, Most of the time, it's a little bit crooked just because humans have difficulty moving in exact straight lines. I didn't have to fiddle with this setting. But again, a common theme for this mouse is that it has a lot of nice features that I don't actually think are completely necessary. For example, they could have just made a left-handed and right-handed mouse, and you can just buy whichever one you want, unless you're ambidextrous and you can actually use both. But I still think having two separate mice would be more useful than having 7 buttons, of which 5 you're only going to use. Also, like this LED part on the bottom is nice, but I mean, you're never going to see it just because it's on the bottom of the thing, and I don't actually think that too many people switch between 2 or more profiles. Again, you can also just change it with one click, so that's already a lot of customization right there. And these 3 lights, they're nice, and it's nice to have cool LED flashing lights, but I care a lot more about functionality than looks. So that seems to be a common theme. A lot of nice things, but are they really necessary? Exact accel, exact aim, free move, and exact lift. I didn't really need them all, and I myself would prefer a cheaper mouse that didn't include these nice features, but with the same finish, the same quality, and some of the same features, not all of them, but some of the same features like customizable buttons. And this actually is a pretty costly mouse, $75 to $90 as of April 2013 in the States. Again, if you buy it at a later date, it may be cheaper, but this is pretty pricey as a mouse goes, and I think that it could be fairly cheaper, but still just as useful without many of the additional features that they add, or maybe this really nice reflective surface. I don't really care for any of those. I prefer just a simple mouse that just works, has very good DPI, reliable, doesn't brick. And although I do think that it does meet all those qualities, it has a lot of extra ones as well that I actually don't think most people will find very useful. I'm a pretty hardcore gamer myself, and although I don't play FPSs, I do play a lot of different games. And going up to 11,400 CPI is very, very high. But if you're in the market for a new mouse, this is a decent one. I think there are better alternatives, but I don't think you can go wrong with this one if you have the money to spend. So huge thanks to SteelSeries for sending me this product review. And if you like my videos, please follow me at youtube.com/MerliniDota. Thank you.